Great. So I'm Michelle. I am your dungeon master for this Dungeon World campaign. This is our third episode, and I am really excited to begin. I just gotta make sure because everything looks like not everything looks broken, but there's like some broken stuff now. Because yay, of course there is. And then let's move that up. For some reason, this got moved all the way to the bottom of the screen and then, got bigger for some reason. So, of course, there's going to be some live fixing because it wouldn't be a Roll20 show without something like that. So, whatever. Okay. We should be good. So, what I was saying before is that we are going to be missing Catilyn this week because she had a loss in the family, so she's dealing with that, and our hearts go out to her. Hopefully she's okay, and everyone, all her family's okay too. But that said, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and recap what happened last week. Does anyone want to go through that?
As far as
Whatever happened last week.
like having us actually narrate what happened?
If you want to, sure.
Because my memory of events is pretty terrible. I was kind of looking forward to the recap.
Okay, well, I mean,
musical battles.
if anyone would like to recap, they can. Otherwise, I can do it.
Why don't you do it? Because I just woke up.
Sounds like a plan then. Okay, so
Hazel's nocturnal in real life.
I would be, but I have work at 6 in the morning, so yeah. But anyway, we started this adventure by making Oldtown and making this elven destroyed city that Australian Zed are from. And Australia heard about a rumor that the dead are walking in this particular tower and that there's also treasure inside. Everyone came to the tower, fought some flesh monsters.
I'm pretty sure that whole part about the treasure was just something I kind of made up.
Just to get everybody to come along.
I mean, we did find a treasure, so...
I mean, it worked out.
You know?
First session was mostly flesh golems and falling into a pit forever. Second session introduced Z as a character who is also a bard like Estrelli. And I think you went up the tower and you saw...
We did some things.
You saw some gargoyles
we came
and
back down.
you were like, nope. Went further up, saw some iron golems and were like, nope, and went back down. Hazel found some robes of the old wizards who live in the tower, put those on. Docs, Australia was able to trick the iron golems into thinking that he was one of them.
I just forgot my keys for a minute.
Yeah, you just forgot your keys. And Zed dropped his glowing staff into the big well that's on the base of the tower.
Oh, yeah.
Polar luck.
So, yeah, that's kind of where we left off. We actually left off on, I think it was just after a very massive gargoyle battle on the ground floor of the tower, where the party had decided to retreat further into the further out of the tower to try to bottleneck them. And then the gargoyles came through the walls and ceiling and floors.
Which was cheating, by the way.
Entirely unfair.
You didn't die. You didn't have any debilities. You're fine. So, you're standing in the base of this tower. Not only are there chunks of flesh around you, but now there's lots of scattered debris and rubble from these gargoyles that you've managed to smash. And you went back upstairs to the study, and fought more gargoyles. And you notice that when you broke them, they didn't look like they were fully made of stone like you would expect. but they were like these hollow shells where this black ichor oozed out of them. You're not sure why.
Delicious.
But you were able to loot 3 magical items and a beautifully cut sapphire worth a determined amount of gold, which I don't remember, but somebody wrote down.
It was 140.
There, I knew somebody wrote it down. But you
Oh,
looted
it's kind of important.
a magical scroll, a magical spyglass, and a medallion. So you're standing in this study with broken furniture and black ichor and dust and stone body parts that are kind of oozing this black ooze. What do you do?
I inspect the spyglass.
Okay, are you trying to discern realities?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and roll plus your wisdom. And then, well, I will go ahead and just roll this. You may ask, whoa. Okay, I guess that's how that looks. You may ask one of those questions. Oh, I think I know why this is a little bit messed up. Does that look better?
So wait, I guess what here is useful or valuable to me?
Well, I mean, he's using it on an item, though. These questions all seem to be for, like, a place.
Yeah,
I think you're supposed to pick like one that you could interpret as being related to whatever you're trying to ask. Like, what should I be on the lookout for in regards to using the item? Might be.
or
applicable.
what about this item is not what it appears to be type thing. So, I mean, I'll let
okay.
you, I'll let you kind
I'll
of
ask
bet.
that question then.
Okay.
What about it is not what it appears to be?
All right, so you're examining this spyglass and turning it over in your hands, and you hold it up to your eye to look through it, expecting to.
Oh no, I'm gonna get cursed again.
Expecting that you're gonna see like the wall, but like closer, like a spyglass would work. But instead, you see like a foreign landscape. With you're in a forest when you look through it. And as you look around, you see yourself surrounded by these ash-colored trees with burning red leaves. And the ground is covered also by these burning red leaves. It's really quite beautiful.
When you say burning red, they're not red and also on fire.
No, it's they're just a very, very vibrant red.
Okay.
First, I take the spyglass down from my eye and see if I'm still in the room I was in before.
You take down the spyglass, you look around, you see the study and your 3 companions.
I mention, this spyglass definitely cannot see the future, and put it in my pack.
Now, I'll have you know that all 3 of the magical items were on my person.
That's true.
Oh,
And then you, like, stole the spyglass from me, and now you're putting it into your pack.
Yeah, that is true.
I hand it back to Zed,
Thank you.
while making sure to mention that it definitely cannot see the future.
I'm fairly certain at one point Zed had already looked through it, but he goes ahead and gives it another quick look.
Zed, you see the same thing that I described to Estrelli.
Oh, he didn't even have to roll for it. Well, I suppose I didn't even need to roll for it either. I could have just looked through the darn thing.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Zed mutters a little bit to himself and puts it back away in the pack. You'll have to investigate that a little bit later.
So
Well,
what do you do?
We have the means to get past the guards on the next floor up, assuming that the medallion is what they are looking for. Do we go up and attempt to get past those guards, or do we go down to get my staff? Because
thought
that
weren't we already going down?
You went back up to fight. You assumed the gargoyles would be gone from the room because they came to attack you, and you went
And there
back
were
up.
yet more gargoyles.
Yes,
Okay.
hiding in the stonework.
Oh wow.
How many stories down roughly did it look like the staff would be?
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, and you haven't actually looked down the well. It looked a significant distance. I think I described it as like 50 or 60 feet down.
Okay.
And right now, for our light source is a small handle I have, right?
Yeah,
Like some sort of pottery handle.
You picked up a piece of broken pottery that looked like you would cut yourself on, and Zed was able to cast light on it.
Okay.
after about like 3 attempts.
Well, as far as I know, I'm still wearing my robes of the Black Cabal. I say we make another attempt at going upstairs.
Slight misnomer because the robes are actually dark brown.
Okay, but that being said, the robes of the Dark Brown Cabal, well, sounds like they need to be washed. Sounds like something weird's going on with that Cabal.
So what do you all do?
I think going back up to give the Iron Golems the necklace seems about right. Oh, hold on. My phone's off.
Yeah,
It's all the way across the room.
of course it is.
How professional.
Totally. We are nothing but true professionals here on this stream. Oh, too high. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Alright, I asked Zed for the amulet, or the medallion.
all right. I hand him the medallion, and then I suppose I also don these other robes on top of my regular robes.
The robes of the Dark Brown Cabal.
Well, only because if Dox were to give, or sorry, if Estrelli were to give the medallion over, and then he was allowed to go through, I don't think I would be able to go through unless I was also wearing the robes. So,
Fair point.
What, you mean it isn't a plus guest pass?
So
Yeah, I also wear the robes.
you've been wearing the robes, Hazel.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, so the group of you climb the 2 flights of stairs to head back up to the 4th floor. You see the familiar sight of these iron suits of armor standing at attention. The one to your right has collapsed. And the one in the far corner, there's that clanking of metal again as it extends one of its arms and turns over its hand as if waiting for something. What do you do?
I place the medallion in its hand
Its
and
fingers
confidently walk by.
its fingers curl around the medallion. Nothing else seems to happen.
Oh wait, never mind walking by. There's rooms over here.
Yes, there are 4 rooms that you have not yet explored. One has a broken doorway. The other 3 have doors that are shut.
I poke my head bravely around the corner and try to light up the room of the broken door.
Okay. You reveal a small bedchamber. The floor is covered with broken glass and a broken chair. The bed looks moldy and in very poor repair. There is a chest in the corner.
What does the broken glass seem to be from?
Maybe a mirror or something. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
all right. Well, I suppose Zed will go over and inspect the chest.
Okay. You open the chest. It wasn't locked. Inside, you find, like, rotted scraps of clothing. It looks like the personal effects of whoever stayed in there. You don't really see anything of value in it, though.
Okay. And I suppose then I'll just carry on looking through the other rooms as the light source permits.
Okay.
Yep.
Which room would
Next
you...
one will. Oh, sorry. The next one will be the top left one.
Okay.
What's behind door number 2?
Another moldy bed. Yay. No, but
And
you...
another potential chest.
This chest is actually broken and it doesn't appear that there's anything in it.
Okay. Bottom left.
You see a shattered tablet on the floor, in addition to a rotted-looking bed and a broken chest.
Oh, I know the answer to this one. I try to reassemble the broken tablet and speak the words of power.
Like, for reals, you want to reassemble the tablet?
Don't ask me these questions.
How many pieces are there? Is this like a thing that could reasonably be done? Just sort of like putting something together, or is it like?
I mean, it's not a broken tablet. I should say it's a shattered tablet. So, it is theoretically possible, but it's very unlikely that you would be able to find all of the pieces, but you might be able to reassemble it into a way that it might be legible, you think, maybe?
I'm not much for literacy. My character goes through song. Anything in the chest?
Just more broken, it's like broken pieces of wood from the lid of the chest, scraps of clothing. Nothing that you see in there that looks valuable.
This is probably just the bedrooms of the Cabal members. I guess bottom right.
You see a similar room. There's broken pottery, a broken chest. The bed frame is actually missing the mattress.
Interesting.
Zed kind of muses to himself that like you might be able to overhear him muttering a bit, that the broken tablet just so happened to end up in the lower left-hand bedroom, and the lower left-hand statue is broken. So maybe the tablet had something to do with the statue.
Yeah, that's.
I look around this room and try to see if I can find any whole tablets.
Okay. You look around the room and you don't see anything that looks like the broken, shattered tablet that was in the other room. Like, you check the walls and stuff, and there's nothing that appears to be there. The walls are fairly bare, so it's not like it could be hidden behind a tapestry. You look under the bed, there's nothing there.
All right. Check the chest on the way out.
You find nothing useful.
All right, upstairs.
Yep. Continuing
Okay.
onwards.
Now that we have successfully pillaged the bedrooms.
All right. So if you'll scroll over to your right, you are going to be coming up on this staircase. And your light shines in what looks like a master bedroom.
I would like to.
For
Go ahead.
people who guard the area with a myriad of golems and gargoyles and things like that, they live pretty simply.
And this is the top floor of the tower, correct?
You don't see another staircase, and you would assume from the way it looked outside that this would be the top floor.
Most likely, if there was a window or something, we'd be able to like stick your head out and look up.
If there
"Oh,
were
yeah,
a
there's the
window.
roof."
These people weren't fans of light. I don't blame them. Natural light.
All right. I would like to cast Detect Magic.
I believe... Didn't you wipe that spell from your brain, or did you already rest and get it back?
I believe last I knew we had rested.
Oh, right, and you did take the time
Yeah.
to prepare your spells.
Right.
Yeah,
so I have
'cause he
all my
actually
spells
didn't
ready.
rest during the rest.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to cast a spell.
Which is plus intelligence.
Yes.
Hey, good job.
So, you blink your eyes a couple of times, as you cast this spell. And why don't you go ahead and describe how it looks when you cast this spell?
Once again, starting off the incantation with a magical circle out of his left hand. When it's completed, there's like this purplish pulse. And I suppose anyone else who didn't cast the spell wouldn't be able to see the rest of it. But from his eyes, this pulse then spreads out through the walls and the ceiling and whatnot in a big radius around him. And then everything that is magical within that radius, like, glitters with, like, purple light through the walls.
Okay. So you blink a couple of times, and then you look down, and you can see through the floor the 3 golems far below. Well, not far below. The 3 golems below, and you can see their heads, just their heads, because that's just what's still in range after passing through that much stone. But you can see just like the faintest outline of the tops of their heads glittering. And then you look up, and as you look up, your eyes settle on the rug, and you see a glittering of magic circling the rug, and as it goes towards the center of the rug, it seems to coalesce. You also can see a fainter aura just next to the rug. It looks like it's coming from inside of the chest that's at the foot of the bed.
Not seeing any of this, I stride confidently into the center of the room. No, just
And
kidding.
Ted immediately holds his hand out and stops you.
No, after seeing the first floor and all the pitfall traps, I wouldn't go anywhere near that carpet.
Well, neither would Zed. That's why he cast Detect Magic. And that confirmed my suspicions. There is some kind of a magical circle inscribed onto the rug.
Actually, from looking at it, you can tell that the magic is beneath the rug, but the rug is laying on top of it.
All right, then. Does it look like a... Like, would Zed know whether or not it looked like a magic circle, or what the activation would be for the magic?
Why don't you spout lore? So roll plus your intelligence. If you would like to use your bag of books, you can mark off 1 use and add +1 to your roll.
I shall do that.
Okay.
So, be advised, this roll is with a +1.
Okay. Nice.
You didn't need it, but
Okay. Well, I mean, you had to make sure, right?
Yep.
So with...
Well, that
Go ahead.
extra 1 saved him from...
the one's
Oh,
not
wait.
included in the roll.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I will tell you something interesting and something useful about this magical circle. You recognize it as... You recognize it as a magic circle, of course, because your detect magic was triggered by it. You also can recognize it as it's keyed to if someone were to step inside of it, or
I'm gonna
like...
have to go AFK. Someone's at the door.
Oh, darn.
Oh, that's our door?
Well then. That'll give me time to think on how to describe this. Oh, like I said, nothing but professional here.
Well, unfortunately, not much most people can do about a knock on the door.
I know. It's just the timing was really perfect. I was just getting into describing this and then...
Yeah.
So, how's everyone doing?
Good.
Jumping right to the hard-hitting question. Now, it looks like the walls... We would be standing here, correct?
No, I have you... let me ping it. So
Okay.
the shape of the room is going to be the same as the floor below, but because you are still in the stairwell and have not stepped out yet, I haven't revealed the full room yet.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to step out until we figure out what's going on.
I didn't want to assume that you had stepped out at all because I didn't want you to feel like I was forcing you into danger unjustly.
I appreciate that, not having our characters immediately run into traps without consent.
No, I'll let you consent to your own trap running intos.
So there's this log over the ravine, and your character boldly strides over it.
I'm messing with my webcam settings because it looks kind of like greenish, and I was trying.
Oh, does it?
I don't know.
I don't
Like
know.
not super greenish, but a little bit greenish.
Oh. Mine always leans kind of like yellowy orange, so. But I don't mess with it too much. I'm just like, you know what? It's working. It's not broken. Let's just leave it alone.
I have returned.
Okay. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit so stream can maybe see what we're looking at. I can't get over far enough. That's annoying. Oh well, it's this room here. Anyway, so what you know about this particular magic circle, or at least magical circles like it, is that there's an activation to set off the magic. And you know that in these types of circles, they're protective. And so the activation would be passing into the vicinity of the circle. And if any part of a person's body or if an object passes through the circle, that will set off the magic.
Is that the case even if it's like, if something were to go above the circle, would it still set it off? You know what I mean? Like in the air?
Depends on the
Um,
vicinity of the circle.
Like, is it a column of activation or a circle of activation?
It's more of like a dome type thing.
Okay.
All right, and of course I relay all of this information to the party, stopping anyone from stepping into it until we find out about it. One thing that I want to try would be, could I lift the rug so that I can actually see the circle underneath it, or would that set it off?
Depends on
Um,
how close you have to get to it.
You believe that disturbing the rug would set off the circle.
Okay. So I tell everyone its approximate boundary. Now, is there enough room for me to step around it?
You haven't really been able to see the rest of the room because you've all been waiting in the stairwell. If you would like to have Estrelli enter the room and shine his light on the rest of it, you'd probably have a better idea of where you can go.
Like, is there enough room that you can enter it without going within the circle?
Enter the room.
Yeah. Like, can you?
Yes.
We're
um,
about to find out.
So
The
the way
boundary?
I figure is you guys are here in the stairwell.
Mhm.
The circle does not extend past the confines of the rug. So you believe that stepping here would be safe.
I stand here.
Okay.
Okay, then let me go ahead and reveal the rest of the room for you.
Oh, okay. See, I thought these were walls. Right?
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to explain, is that
Okay.
it was just
Gotcha.
what you were able to see.
Okay. So that's good to know. But the chest, this is the chest, right?
Yes, and it is fully
that's just
within the
one thing.
confines of the circle.
Yeah.
It's also it's probably someone's dresser. It's right at the end of their bed.
No, but it contains magic.
It
There
does.
is a strong
And we
magic
did hear that
inside
the
that
top
chest.
and bottom floors were where the loot was. So,
Well, to be
Well-
clear, Estrelli asked for knowledge.
oh,
And
we
they
did
said-
ask for knowledge.
And the
That- yeah.
gargoyle said that the top and the bottom of this tower holds what he seeks.
Okay.
Could I have some information on what that is?
It looks to be, let me zoom in just so I can, it looks like a shattered statue.
Ah,
All right. So, if Zed were to set up a ritual in order to disarm the defensive circle,
Mm-hmm.
what would he need, or what amount of time would be required?
Yeah, let me
do you
look.
think?
One
Okay.
thing that is worth mentioning about rituals is you have to draw on a place of power to do a magical effect. So
Draw
this might
from the
count
magical
actually,
circle.
potentially, but
I'm thinking at the top of a wizard's thing with this would probably be a place of power, but
I'm just
that once again is up to the DM.
As you think about this place and the powers that appear to reside in it, you know that that well is a place of power that you can draw upon.
And so does being directly above it count?
Yes. So you will be able to...
Directly above it, though.
You are directly above the well. And you will be able to draw on the power of the well.
Which is most likely dark energy, but so be it.
I mean, it does.
It is energy.
What we know about the well so far is that it eats light. So
What
You-
wizard hasn't dabbled in a little bit of dark magic every now and then?
So, in order to disenchant it, you will have to prepare your mind and you will have to clear it of one of your spells. In other words, forget one of your spells, it'll be your choice, in order to basically replace it with this one-shot ritual. And you will risk the danger of setting it off. I will have you basically roll to cast a spell to do it. But it won't take you very long.
I toss my dirty bandage into the middle of the rug. No, just kidding.
I was about to say, okay, you set it off.
Yeah, that's not something he would do.
I mean, it's entirely possible that the defensive mechanism is only against whatever enters the circle, but there's also a possibility that it could summon something to help defend. So
There's
we
also
don't-
a possibility that it could just teleport you to somewhere else, like directly above the well, to be sacrificed.
have you plummet right down the well. That's awesome. No, but I mean, it could be all sorts of various things. If you wanted to test it, we could, but I'd rather try to disarm it.
Yeah, there's a chance he sets it off, so we have a good chance of fun.
All right, and what level of spell do I have to potentially sacrifice? Do I have to ante up? Could it be a cantrip, or does it have to be a level 1 spell?
I'm going to say for a ritual of this magnitude, it will require a first level spell slot, or a first level spell to be wiped from your mind.
Temporarily.
Well, until
Okay,
you
yeah,
rest again.
Until I rest again. So I will wager invisibility.
Okay.
I will go ahead and uncheck
What does
that.
it look like as you are casting this spell? Or this ritual?
This one is a lot more potent than the other ones, and so I'm actually going to be creating a small circle here, and just drawing on the floor,
Okay.
with like a piece of chalk, or scraping it into it with a piece of the statue, and I will be drawing a magic circle here on the floor
Okay.
in order to be able to counter it. As the circle becomes complete, it starts to glow. Him standing in the center of the circle, chanting until the spell comes to fruition. The glow in the circle reaches maximum.
One small thing I'd like to say is that you expect it to glow, but instead it is only shadow, pulsing and throbbing as you draw upon this place of power.
Yes, I'm pulling dark energy. Zed kind of raises an eyebrow, but continues regardless.
That's a good
Okay,
wizard.
so
Ignore the darkness.
He's like, yeah, all right, this is dark energy, but so be it.
So
Back to the
one
Mandarin
one
that's
question
calling.
is, if someone was going to try to help, what like risk would they be facing if they failed the help roll?
With this, I'm going to say you can't help because you're not a wizard.
Fair enough.
Zed is unique. All right, and so I have created the circle. I have sacrificed a spell, and now I need to roll for intelligence.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
So as the shadows recede back into the floor and your chalk becomes nothing but chalk again, you believe that you have diffused the magic from this place.
All right. I let them know that now it should be safe to cross the rug. And if they wish to test it with something benign, then now is the time.
All right. I still vote testing, but I do believe you that it has worked, but just in case, it's always better to be safe.
So, Docs, do you want to sacrifice that nasty bandage? Finally get rid of it
Sure.
from your...
Well,
I mean, it might not be sacrificed.
no.
Nothing is going as planned.
No, my bond with Zed is I trust Zed with my life. I stride onto that rug.
You stride onto the rug. Nothing appears to happen. It seems that Zed was
And I
successful.
immediately open that treasure chest because he's gotten the last two of them.
Okay, then let me go ahead and...
Have you defy danger?
No.
Defy minor inconvenience?
No. I just have to roll some things. It would help if I could type tonight. I guess we'll just do this. Whoops. Okay. You find 5 coins, and you also find a small polished stone, and it's a very glossy black.
Okay, so in a dark wizard tower, I find a small, shiny black stone.
In a chest that a wizard has already told you contains a powerful magic item.
Is this like a large chest with just these things sitting at the bottom, or is there like other non-valuable things in the...
There's other non-valuable things in it. This was Australia rifling through the chest, digging past rotted garments and like scraps of velvet, and the only thing of real value that he found were 5 coins at the bottom, and in like a pocket of a very moth-eaten robe he found this small polished stone.
Okay.
I have found the dark heart of this tower.
To describe the room better, now that you all aren't focused on this potential magic circle of really nastiness, you do see a desk next to the bed. The bed is, other than very moth-eaten and moldy, is also unmade, which is different because the beds downstairs, the ones that still had mattresses, were all neatly made. You see broken glass that looks like from a mirror. You see a sort of half-destroyed privacy board, like a privacy fence type thing. You see a stone basin in the corner that looks like it was used like as a wash basin. There's a desk next to the bed. There is like a dining table to the far south of the room with rotten food on it, some broken statues, broken pottery, and then 4 what do you call those? Like standing candelabras, but they're all unlit. And they don't have any candles in them.
Well,
so we
looks
checked.
like. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, so we checked the chest. What is this other thing over here?
Are you pinging? Because I can't see you pinging.
Yeah, there.
Oh, that is the desk that I mentioned.
Yes. Does it have drawers?
Yes.
All right. I'd like to go through the drawers.
Okay.
Like, Zed is here for magical stuff. So, having already cast Detect Magic and we've acquired the small glossy black pebble of magic, he's pretty much done with this rope.
It's about palm size, like it fits comfortably in your hand.
Okay, so it's more, yeah.
Comfortably in my hand, let me just say.
Hazel, you find 3 coins in the desk.
Nice.
There doesn't appear to be anything else in it. Not even, like, refuse or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Australia would go to Zed and let him know that he was willing to trade him this stone of ultimate power in exchange for that spyglass that can totally not see the future.
Zed just sort of chuckles a little bit to himself and says, if you want to hold on to the stone until I find out what it can do, then by all means go right ahead and keep it. But
I
don't,
put it in my pocket.
yeah, don't sell it or get rid of it or anything else until I know what it does.
I'm totally planning on channeling dark energy with that thing later.
Yeah, you and magical items don't get along very well. I have to keep my eye on you.
Ooh. I wonder if I could adorn my violin with that. Ooh, that could really spice up my spells.
Putting a dark magical stone in your violin to...
It would be very difficult to put it inside the violin without damaging it.
Well, no. I said adorn, not in bed.
Again, it's about palm sized. It's not a pebble or, like, jewelry sized.
Well,
You could, like, dangle it from the bottom and just sort of... it would be extra heavy violining. I don't know.
How do you think Australia became so strong? Strength training with the violin.
So, hey, we could probably look at the magic circle now. You know what I mean? We might be able to find out what it would have done if it's, like, written on the floor in some type of writing material.
Assuming that it's still there after I disenchanted it, but yeah, sure. We can pull up the rug and take a look at the circle now.
Does the rug look remotely valuable?
It is old and moldering, just like everything else in this tower.
This tower sucks.
It's a level 1 adventure. You get that with the really, you get all the golden stuff at like level 80 or 90.
Like, I like how she didn't even like let us have candles from the candelabra. It's like, oh yeah, the candelabra doesn't have any actual candles on it.
With your luck, you'd burn this place down in an instant.
I gave you magic items. Come on.
Yeah.
That's what Zed's here for.
Um,
And the magic circle is another piece of magical knowledge, so Zed is very much interested in that, and he's probably pulling...
Ooh, I hold the black stone next to my next to the pottery handle that emits light and sees if the light changes color.
it does not.
I'm highly disappointed.
Zed, it sounds like you're trying to discern realities about this magical circle. Would you
If
like...
I have finally managed to successfully remove the rug, yes.
Yeah, you can roll up the rug. I mean, that'll be part of your roll.
Okay.
So would you like to roll plus wisdom?
Plus wisdom.
Hey.
His luck is
I guess
back.
today is a good roll day for
Okay,
it, I
so
guess.
if you
The
scroll
pendulum
up
swing.
to the questions that I listed for Estrelli, you can pick, I think it's 3, and ask me 3 of those questions.
All right. What here is useful or valuable to me, being that I am looking for knowledge about magic circles and whatnot?
as you look at the floor, you roll up the rug and you study the circle on the floor, and you feel that if you were able to make a copy of this circle, you would be able to recreate it in the future as a ritual. So that would be very valuable to you.
That is extremely valuable. How do I make note of that?
You have what's in your inventory. I'll let you make note of it in your spell book, actually.
Yeah,
Like-
seems like diagrams would go in there.
Yeah. It's
Well,
not
I
gonna.
was-
It's not gonna take up a slot or anything.
Right. But canonically, that's all well and good. But in real life, where do I make a note of this?
Under your spells, maybe just make a note of ritual circle, and then put some question marks.
See, this is why I should have just thrown the bandage on. We still don't know what this thing does.
Well, it seems like the process of doing that could potentially make him aware of what it might do. I don't know.
So let's see here. One of those questions, is there any way that I could just ask what the circle did? I mean, it's not really covered by one of the questions, but...
Since
you
you
could
got
ask,
go ahead.
you could ask what is about to happen, but like what would have been about to happen.
Yeah,
if
that's what
hadn't
I was gonna
deactivated it.
say. Like,
Yeah.
if you had discerned realities rather than just going, let's disenchant this circle, I would have let you use that to determine what was about to happen, like what will happen if I step in the circle type thing. So, as you're etching down this circle in your spell book, you recognize many of the runes as conjuration runes, and you believe that it would have summoned something in defense of the tower if you had, or if anyone had, broken the circle or stepped into it.
All right. And I suppose if I modify what happened here recently to be, has it ever been triggered before? Is it like a reoccurring thing that it has perhaps fired before, or was what I disenchanted the only incantation of it and it's never...
As far as you can tell from studying the runes, it looks like it was designed kind of like a temporary ward. It's something that a wizard would inscribe while they were out, and then they would come back and remove it, sort of as like an alarm and protection system. It wasn't intended to just be standing protection. So you believe that that it wasn't like something that could be triggered and re-triggered again. It was just a one-time thing.
Okay.
Okay.
What am I naming the circle again? Just magic
You
circle?
can put Circle of Conjuration, now that you know it is a conjuration circle. But you don't know what it will be summoning. What do the rest of you do?
Okay, so the gargoyles told us that there would be knowledge up here, and if that's like a temporary thing that the person put to guard it as they left, that may or I don't know if that really convinces Olivia that that's what we're looking for up here. So I think Olivia might want to like search the room for other things that we might not have found, like secret rooms or anything like that.
Okay. As you look over the room and you check all of the drawers, you check the chests, you look through the broken statues and underneath the tables and beds and all that, you don't find, and you know, like you're pressing on the walls to see if any are illusory or have any hidden switches, and you don't seem to find anything.
Australia
Okay.
pulls on the handles of the candelabras.
You knock over a candelabra.
Curses.
Which, had it had a lit candle, would have started a fire. I know you.
Well, I
Okay,
think
so I get
I was going to say, I think this is probably a good point to take our first break, unless you had something you wanted to do in this
No,
room.
that's fine.
Let me just try to discern reality on what the dark magical stone is that I have in my pocket.
Well, why don't you tell me how you're fiddling with it? Because I feel like that's not really something. Are you trying to activate it somehow, or what are you trying to do?
Well,
Because, like, you don't really state the moves. You state what you're trying to do, and then I tell you what move that you're using to do that kind of thing.
In other words, don't say discern reality. Say, I want to do this, and she comes up with the roll.
Yeah. Or if it's something that I'm like, okay, that just happens. Because, are you trying to turn it over in your hands looking for runes or whatever? Or
yeah,
like,
well, that definitely.
I mean, it's just a polished black stone as far as you can tell, but Zed has told you it's likely magical.
All right, I put it back in my pocket.
Okay.
And Zed breathes a slight sigh of relief on seeing
And
Astera.
with Zed's sigh of relief, I think we're going to go take our first break. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for more Dungeon World Oldtown.